is this coming through?
Hey Andrew,
What the fuck?
Hey Andrew,
Is this coming through? What the fuck? Today we're going to be doing the first day of the drawing challenge. Wait, let me get my... Where is my timer up? This stream will sadly have to get cut short. I put it like 0.5 then. Almost got excited about a viewer and then I remembered it counts to myself. That's depressing. Almost was happy. Unless that number stays at 1, then I actually have a viewer. In that case, I'm going to turn the music down a bit. Left. Today, I'm going to be doing the first hour, so we're going to do January. Gesture drawing. And here I'm going to have my secondary screen capture. I'm going to delete all of go on Pinterest. Timer was there for a second. Oh shoot, wait. Okay, I'm trying to find a specific video. I do enjoy talking to them. My favorite hobby.
some wall in progress.
There we go. So I can see the video motion.
Has been, and that's why you're here. So we're gonna start off simple. In the first month, there are 3 things that we'll focus on: gesture drawing, perspective, and copying. What? Let's go over these. So starting off with gesture drawing, the whole idea in the first month is to get you to observe better with an artist's eye. So it might seem like a brutal thing to start with, but gesture drawing is a fantastic way to focus on observation. I do have a class where I talk about gesture drawing in more depth, so you should definitely check that out. And then I'll put all the links to the classes that I mentioned during the video down in the description. So for this, aim to draw glorified stick figures, nothing fancy, and lines only, no shading. So for the first month, something like 30 plus poses should be a good start, and then find references in mostly neutral poses, standing, nothing too complicated, and then focusing on 2 to 5 minute sessions per pose. That should work great. Next, you'll want to focus on the basics of perspective. Things that are worth looking into at this stage would be stuff like the horizon line, vanishing point, and just how to draw simple volumes, like cylinders, boxes, and spheres. And then, throughout the month, we'll also do a bunch of studies of art that you like, essentially copying the art from artists that you like. And then here I'm talking about the line art only, no colors, no shading, nothing like that. And then do that as best as you can without tracing. And that's the first month. Do as much as you can, mixing up the...
That's what I like to hear. Wait, I can't see.
We meet again. Welcome. This is something that I teach in my art program in the very first term, and there's good reasons. For art beginners, for those of you who don't have a whole lot of experience yet or no experience at all drawing, it's an amazing exercise to practice your observation skill, particularly selective observation, where you only focus on certain details and ignore the rest. As an artist, that's really the most important skill to develop, but it also helps practice spatial perception, which includes stuff like, locating points in space, determining the orientation of lines and objects, or assessing location in depth, all skills that apply to art in general, so very important stuff to focus on developing first. And gesture drawing helps with all of that. Wow. When you start to gain more experience though, you'll still get to practice all these same skills of course, but
And so he
gesture
says,
drawing
cardio-
also helps as a fantastic visual library booster for poses, proportions, and anatomy. I make it a point to mention beginners and more advanced artists in 2 different groups because what you'll want to focus on when practicing gesture drawing will differ quite a bit depending on your experience level. In our case today, I'll focus more on experienced artists like the way I practice. And if you're interested in this stuff, by the way, or simply interested in drawing anything you can imagine, check out my complete art education program where I cover all kinds of topics like gesture drawing in great detail. You can also find a special coupon in the video description for a big discount on the program, and that's only valid until the end of the month. Don't miss out! Alright, now how to gesture draw. Let's get over a few important tips I find myself repeating often to my students. If you're a less experienced artist, usually I'll recommend you practice spotting the lines of action for your model, give pointers to help with body proportions, how to create simple mannequins, and techniques to measure distance on the program, and that's only valid until the end of the month. Don't miss out! Alright, now... distances between the different elements, etc., but instead, I'll try to explain what I focus on and explain my process as someone who's been practicing gesture drawing for well over a decade now. You should be able to follow this stuff no problem if you've been practicing gesture drawing for some months now, or more obviously. So what I've been doing so far are quick warm-ups, 1 minute each, and they're meant to just get me in the flow, get the engine started, And by the way, this little app that I'm using is something that I've used for the last, like 6 years or so. It's called just gesture drawing in one word, and it allows you to select a folder and set up a gesture drawing session to your preference. Like different sessions with different time, with or without a timer. It has everything I need, and it's awesome. I'll put an affiliate link in the video description if you're curious and you want to get it too. Anyways, I'm going to move on to longer
Does this in
2-minute
fact
poses
cost
now.
money?
My bread and butter. Before I talk
Right.
about anything else though, let's talk about the references that I have here. You
$15.
might not think much of it, but the type of reference you use will make a huge impact on how well you'll be able to retain information, essentially how effective they are. What I always recommend is to use references that you can imagine yourself needing information from in the future. In other words, I always avoid references in crazy poses or extreme angles when I study. Just like you probably forgot a bunch of topics you learned in elementary school or high school because you couldn't see a point
I
in
can't tell if I'm
learning
getting
them
viewers
back
right now.
then. It's kind of the same with art references. If you're working on a pose like this, for example, subconsciously your brain will just go, what is this? There's no way I'll need to retain this information. It'll never be useful in the future. So at least for me, I never draw poses like these from imagination. Never had the need or the desire to, so I don't waste time studying it. Instead, I'll focus on poses that I'm way more likely to use in the future. As a result, I get to retain a lot more information from each of them, and I level up way faster. Epic hacks. Do it. And by the way, I'll also put affiliate links to these photo packs in the video description if you're curious where I get mine. They're awesome, and I highly recommend spending a few bucks on professional model photos if you can afford it. Like I said, better refs, better progress. It's science. Now, as I work on these gestures, I'm not trying to copy what I see. Like, I'm gonna guess, is what 90 to 95% of artists do. That's completely fine as a beginner, no problem. But later on, no. Instead, I recommend that you construct your gestures using a simple mannequin, or at least roughly construct them. What's important to understand here, I guess, is I'm not trying to get good at gesture drawing as an art form. I don't care for the skill too much. Instead, I use gesture drawing to get better at drawing characters from imagination. There's a subtle difference there. The gesture
This is
drawing
about to get
in my
real
case
sad when I
is
start
not the
drawing
final
this.
product.
It's gonna
It's
get
always
real
just meant
fucking
as study,
sad.
something that I don't intend to share really, except now. What I'm looking for or what I'm observing when I practice is only the pose and the anatomy. That's pretty much it. When you construct a character with a mannequin, the proportions should already be figured out, and so I don't really need to observe them. My goal is not to draw this model here, only to use her pose and her anatomy. It's very specific. I showed you how I draw my character mannequins just a few weeks ago, so this is what I'm drawing here, albeit, yeah, just a little simpler. You should give
what
that
the
video a
fuck?
watch if you haven't yet. My
I
process
know,
will
it's just-
probably
I know,
make
it's
a lot
just
more
a
sense
model.
once you have. Initially, I would
just-
probably recommend that you practice drawing the mannequin in a neutral pose first to, to get used to it and used to human proportions. Basically, practice this for a while until you can draw it from imagination, and then come back to gesture drawing like I do it here. I'm really just using the photo reference here to add detail to my mannequin. That's all. If we check, the proportions here aren't quite right. They're pushed a bit, but that's on purpose. They're just more ideal proportions defined previously when I constructed my mannequin. They're just proportions that I find more aesthetic. I can do what I want. Now, obviously, if you want to draw proportions that are more similar to the reference model, do that. I'm just saying that's not my goal here. For the quick poses that I worked on first during my warm-up, it was just a more simplified version of the mannequin where I was focusing more on the silhouette. Now, with double the time, I'm focusing a lot more on the volumes that make up the body. Different time limits, different focus. Anyways, to recap so far, choose your references carefully. It has a big impact on how fast you'll improve. Then warm up with some quick 1-minute
Pinterest.
poses, focusing on the silhouette of the model before moving on to the longer 2-minute poses where you'll want to focus more on the volumes that make up the body. Don't try to copy what you see. Instead, try constructing the body in its proportions, mostly from imagination. Only glancing back at your reference when you need information about the pose and the anatomy of the
Okay, so
model.
actually
We're
it's
inspiring
people.
ourselves from the reference, not copying it. In that sense, you can also exaggerate the pose if you feel confident enough. When you approach the study
No.
this way, when it's clear that the point is not to copy the reference, it's a lot more liberating and a lot more fun of an exercise, at least in my opinion. It's fine if it's not the same. Who cares? Finally, the last tip I have, and something else that I think has a big impact on the quality of the gesture, will be your treatment of the feet and the hands. Those often tend to affect the gesture a lot, so make sure you save some time for them. When the feet look wonky, especially the feet, your gesture drawings will usually look super floaty and kind of like off balance, and that can really ruin the whole thing. Practice drawing simple hands and feet separately with very few lines to get used to their construction if those are more problematic. I made another video showing my construction recipe for those two, for feet and hands, if you're curious, so have a look if you're not sure how to go about it. Finally, I'll just say that experience plays a big role in the speed of your gesture drawings. If 1 and 2 minutes is too short for you, like it was for me just a few years ago, then double the length you spend on these. It's not a race, but at the same time, you don't want to spend too much time, like no...
Okay. I should make it decently big, so suppose I do. First one of the month. Time to fucking close this shit. And there's nothing there. Me back. I fucked my back.
We meet again.
I think
Learning to draw.
if I can get more viewers, I'll eventually do
Sing out the
a.
topic.
Oh Lord, everything's going on with me at once. I shall eventually do a workout stream, but I think that'd be like. I feel like I should make that like in the end, you know. That'd be like. I had like 100 subs. Like I know a lot of you that's like nothing, but like fuck, I got nothing. It's like if I had 100 subs, that'd be like sick. So 2 to 5 minutes. I might have to push it like 6 minutes per. Cause fuck. Let's. I think that's the best camera angle for this. No, that looks fucking stupid. Shit, do some side boob for you, fuck. Okay, well, shit, I'm getting embarrassed now for. Got me fucked up. Fuck, I have one timer. I'm trying to think, do I do a second timer? Oh shit. Layer. Shortcut Photoshop. Prefer after you erase stuff in Photoshop. Control Alt Shift N. Okay.
you want.
Hopefully during the challenge I can fucking learn how to use Photoshop. Fuck me. Am I not switching? What the fuck? Do I have to just suck a bag of dicks and take it? There we go. Fuck, I'm good. Oh no. We're not starting off strong, boys. Fuck. But this is learning to draw. Come together on this point. So hopefully if I can get this stream a bit bigger, I could eventually do collabs where we actually have people who know how to draw. Oof. Give me a little bit of advice. My biggest issue, well, one of us, I don't really know how to do perspective. Like, that's kind of part of her foot, where as it goes back. I honestly fucking no clue to do. No, okay. I'm gonna trial and error this. Nope. Does it go straight back? Fuck, I can't tell. This. And kind of like there. See, that just looks stupid. We'll call that gesture 1 a failure. Fuck. That was depressing. Maybe I can get a front on one. I haven't figured out this whole perspective deal. A little too difficult. But My arms look just disgusting on this lighting. Holy shit. Lord.
How could you? It,
Let's see. Okay. Start from the bottom. Okay. Maybe I should not start from the bottom. Okay, that's super fast. It took 2 minutes. 2 minutes. No. Leg is going a bit more different. Leg's like pretty straight, but still a bit curved inwards. And then as you can tell from these drawings, this will be a long challenge. Well, 100 hours to be specific, hopefully. Fuck. Challenge gets extended because I'm fucking shit. That would be sad. I made her fucking cat look like she's a monster. Proportion. Like this. Slide out. The indent outwards. Over. I feel like I did this leg a lot better than the other leg. Let's try it a little bit. Oh shit, I gotta go to class in the next 6 minutes. And it is not that big. Fuck me, how do you draw a butt? Okay, so we got the leg and then it slowly swoops up. Like that. This is why I'm calling. Oh lord, no. How do I draw? What the fuck? I feel like I've already taken 4 minutes. Okay, let's just. Yeah. I thought this was gonna be some kind of motherfucker like, oh, we're gonna learn how to draw, and they're just disgusting at it. The goal is for real progress. We're looking to make some real fucking progress here. From game development, I actually have experience in it. I actually know how to program at the very least. I know a bit about Unity. This. Gesture 1. Okay, I'm gonna have to cut that about 30 minutes short. Rip. That was a good one.